Don't let the fact that I vanished off the face of YouTube for 6 months fool you. Some hockey stuff happened after this video. Most notably, a Stanley Cup final that the Florida Panthers won. Good for them. But after that was the off-season where no hockey was played and everyone was focused on free agents. And it seemed that there was a clear winner in this off-season, that being the Nashville Predators. As Barry Trotz whipped out some George Washingtons and got the team 3 of the biggest free agents in the off-season. Those being Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, and Brady Skjei. Getting just one of these players would have been considered a successful offseason, but the Predators went and got all 3 of them? That is one hell of a steal. And all it cost them was $108.5 million, which is, half of what Joe Burrow is getting, so that's pretty good. Now the team will look forward to the new season, where they hope that the new acquisitions will improve the team from their wildcard playoff spot and maybe potentially win them a Stanley Cup. Now, of course, we are currently in the regular season, so let's see how it's gone for Nashville so far. Yeah, this season has been, so far at this point in time, a fucking disaster. They did not improve at all from the previous season. Instead, the Preds fell off harder than Shane McMahon did at SummerSlam 2000 and WrestleMania 32. And Hell in a Cell 2017. They are at the bottom of the NHL standings, tied with the Chicago Blackhawks and behind teams like the Ottawa Senators, Anaheim Ducks, San Jose Sharks, and Montreal Canadiens. And the part about being tied with the Blackhawks gets an asterisk because it's only because of overtime losses. If the NHL didn't include those in the standings, the Predators would be behind them as well. Now, of course, it was always a possibility that the Preds would simply not live up to expectations and that they would maybe even take a few steps back. But this? They had the kind of offseason fans would sell both of their kidneys for, and you're telling me they're struggling more than their expansion season? What the hell happened? Let's answer that. Pretty much the biggest issue with the team is the offense's inability to score. Looking at the standings and sorting by GF on the NHL.com website, you'll see that the Predators have the least goals scored, tied with the Ducks, at only 64, which is just straight up a depressing 1.5 goals per 60 minutes. This is way less than expected, as shown by this stat, the goals for above expected, which despite the name of the stat, the Preds are actually below expected at negative 20.43. So basically, you buy a 20-piece chicken McNugget from McDonald's, you expect there to be 20 pieces, and there's only 0. That's the Predators. Now looking at the stats of individual players, only 7 of them have scored 10 or more points, and only 6 of them have scored 5 or more goals. And of those 6 players, none of them have yet to reach the 10-goal mark, but Philip Forsberg could very soon. And as for the Stamkos-Marchessault duo, if you want to know how they've been doing, let's compare their stats from last season. Both Stammy and Marshy scored points aplenty, with the former having 81 and the latter having 69. Nice. That combines for 150 points. This season, joined together, they have combined for 29 points. That also happens to be the amount of games they've played so far. So let me get this straight. These 2 players, whom the Predators are paying $60 million, are scoring at a rate of 1 point per game and are nowhere near close to matching their previous years. That's not good, especially considering they're literally supposed to be scoring a shit ton of points. Marchessault himself scored 42 goals last season, and yet this season he's only recently scored his 5th goal. But that's only the new additions to the Diddy party. What about the already established members of it? Oh, they aren't doing much better. Philip Forsberg, Mr. Mustache Man, has 9 goals and 17 points. That's the most goals on his team and the second most points on his team, but neither are close to matching his last season. Others, such as Gustav Nyquist, Ryan O'Reilly, Colton Sissons, Tommy Novak, and Brady Skjei, remember him, are all significantly scoring less than usual. In Brady Shea's case, he has been playing poorly defensively as well, having matched his giveaway total from last season 29 games into this season. And in this one game in overtime against the Avalanche, Brady Shea was even pushed aside like a little bitch by Sam Girard, who then scored his first first goal to end the game and win for the Avalanche. Part of this significant lack of scoring can be blamed on the lack of shooting, which, despite being an American team, the Preds haven't been shooting all that much. As shown by the shooting percent on all shot attempts stat, the Predators have a downright pathetic 2.51%. I don't know if this is relevant or not, but the Sharks had like 80% more than that, so take with that what you will. Wow, 5 minutes? I yapped a lot about their offense. Alright, let me give you the TLDR. Basically, this team is so inoffensive that nobody would care if they started shouting racial slurs like they were on a PUBG bridge. If all of this wasn't bad enough, rut-row, we got some tensions between coach and player. Andrew Brunette has been trying to make this talented roster hit its stride with plenty of shuffling all the way back in October, as if he's trying to find the perfect word in Scrabble or something. And it appears that some of the players are kinda annoyed by all of this shuffling. More specifically, the last Conn Smythe winner to be on a Stanley Cup winning team, who is quoted saying this. I'm not reading it, I'm too lazy. The gist of what he's saying is the coach needs to get his fucking shit together. He ain't the only one throwing shade though, as the coach himself is pretty frustrated and tired of his team sucking. As he has been recently quoted saying this. The gist of what he's saying is you all fucking suck. Of course, I'm not Andrew Brunette, so I don't know what's going on in his head, but I feel like he's just fed up with the whole team. He's tried everything, nothing's worked, players are starting to get mad at him, he's probably just done and just waiting for the team to fire him. But yeah, we got some drama between the players and the coach. That's perfect for a team like this. However, there is one more thing about this team that I would like to bring up, and it's about the offense again. The goaltending doesn't suck. UC Soros has continued to be a good goaltender. His GA and Sava percent are around the same as they usually are, and 6 of the 7 wins were with him behind the net. Yippee! Not everything about this team is dog shit. Here, have a cookie. As for what this has to do with the offense, well, simply look at the games they've lost in the past month. Senators 3-1, Canadiens 3-0, Maple Leafs 3-2, Wild, Lightning, and Flyers all 3-2 in overtime. Kraken 3-0, Flames 2-0, Oilers 3-2 in overtime. That is 9 games in the last 30 days where the Predators held the enemy offense to only 3 goals or less, and 5 games where they were held to less than 3 goals in regulation. This is important because if the offense wasn't casting Quaz Wex this season, some of these games might have been wins. And yet, because the Predators are only slightly better at scoring than Beavis is, all of these games ended up being losses. In fact-a-roni, the Nashville Predators have scored less than 3 goals in 19 of their 29 games, or 65.5%. A goaltender's job is to keep pucks out of the net. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to be scoring goals most of the time. And remember, this offense was supposed to be good. It wasn't supposed to be the worst in the entire NHL, but here we are. Nashville Predators, rock bottom, least wins in the NHL, and a chance to maybe have the worst season in their franchise's history. What was meant to be a potential Stanley Cup winning season has instead been a potential Porter Martone or James Hagen's drafting season. Whilst it's always possible that the Preds could magically turn the season around and end up making the playoffs, I mean, it's happened before, they are quickly running out of games and time to do that. And with Barry Trotz hinting at a potential rebuild, this could be a hell the Predators are stuck in for a while. So many losses, so few goals, and all it cost was $100 million. Anyways, that's it. Goodbye.